When you sing the E vowel, does it feel like two completely different vowels depending on where you are in your range? Maybe it's clear and easy down low, but tight and uncooperative up high, as if Dr. Jekyll suddenly turned into Mr. Hyde. Today, we're going to show the E vowel how to behave so that it works with you all the way through your vocal range. Hello there, wonderful singers, and welcome to your Kovo vocal exercise routine of the week. My name is Dr. Julia Nielsen, and I'm the founder of Kovo, short for Community Vocalizing, where our mission is to advance singers' vocal health, fitness, and longevity by providing creative vocal exercise routines. We are deep into Vowels Month here at Kovo, where each of our live general vocal workouts has been what I call a love letter to a specific vowel or vowel family, where we do a deep dive into how that vowel is produced, what it tends to do well, and how it can get into trouble. In this week's warm-up routine, we will focus on the E vowel, actually one of my very favorites. Now, E is a high, forward, closed vowel, which means that the hump of the tongue is very high and forward in the mouth, moving towards the alveolar ridge and the roof of the mouth. And this tongue position is facilitated by a relatively closed jaw. So what can go wrong? Quite a lot, as it turns out. E is often spread. Think of having your photo taken and they say cheese, cheese, tight jaw, which doesn't give us the round tone that we're looking for in classical singing. The tongue can get tight, the palate can drop, and if the back of the tongue lifts along with the front, we get a congested, pinched sound. So today we're going to learn how to avoid those traps by using another vowel to apply a little positive peer pressure. So I call this exercise hand-in-hand vowels. We're going to start with an O vowel to establish a more open throat and a rounded facial posture. Then we'll make it hold hands with the E vowel. As we alternate, we're going to keep a bit of the O shape and feel and simply move the tongue to the E position. O-E. The pitch pattern goes like this. Give that a try with me. Top line. Let's try that again. As we come back down in pitch, we will still think of the preparation, the shape of the O vowel, but we will just sing E, which is going to help keep E deep and rounded. you may have noticed that E is not always a happy camper on high notes. That's because it is a closed vowel, usually paired with a more closed jaw. But for maximum comfort and resonance on high notes, the jaw has to be more open. So that means that the E vowel needs to be modified in the high range. So in this exercise, we're going to start with an ah vowel. Ah, e, ah. And then we're going to transition to an E vowel, E, while keeping the jaw open and maintaining the ah space in the back of the throat. We're just going to move the tongue toward E. So let's try that, the top line. Try that again. Does your jaw want to shut when you change to the E vowel? See if you can prevent that. Now, as we've gotten higher, you may notice that the E vowel at the top begins to sound a little bit like its next door neighbor, I. That is not a mistake. That is a functional acoustic adjustment that occurs as the jaw opens more. E, I. So allow that to happen as we continue upwards. One more, nice and tall at the top. We'll speed up a little bit as we go back down. Now, in our final exercise, we're going to tackle a diphthong that includes a closed front vowel. So let me come back to you for just a moment. First of all, what is a diphthong? It is a sound that is formed by two vowels within a single syllable, where the sound moves from one vowel to another. And in English, we have many words where an ah vowel, open vowel, moves into a closed vowel that sounds like E. For example, the word high or sigh or like. Now, if we're really being sticklers about it, the second vowel in these diphthongs is not actually the closed E vowel that we practiced in our first exercise. That vowel E is indicated by this symbol in the International Phonetic Alphabet, known as IPA. The second vowel in the diphthong in a word like high is actually E's next door neighbor on the vowel chart, the I vowel, indicated by this symbol in IPA. So we have the word high, sigh, goodbye. Now, in singing, these diphthongs can really sneak up on you and cause problems because that second vowel is a more closed one. So we need to maintain the openness we practiced in the prior exercise and apply the same modification strategies on high notes. We're going to make the diphthong by moving the tongue, I, rather than closing the jaw, I. And we're going to delay the movement to the second vowel, high, which is consistent with classic lyric diction, not high. So here is the pitch pattern. So give that a try with me. Did you catch that? Here we go. Let's try that again. So I hope this routine helped you to find more ease and space and flexibility in your E vowel, especially in the upper range. You know, once you know how to give E what it needs, it just might become your best friend. If you enjoyed this exercise routine, we've got more for you. Every week, we host 2 30-minute live vocal workouts on Zoom, and we'd love to have you join us. These sessions are absolutely free. We meet on Zoom every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time, and instructions on how to request our free Zoom link are in the description below. If you want to make sure that you don't miss any new Kovo warm-up routine videos, you can subscribe to the channel to see each new routine when it posts, or use the link in the description below to get each new routine of the week delivered directly to your email inbox. And finally, singers, remember, regular vocal exercise is the key to your vocal health, fitness, and longevity. Every time you show up at Kovo, you're going to get a creative vocal workout, expert coaching, and a community of friends to practice with. We'll see you there.